Welcome to the 2024 NASA STEM Enhancement in Earth and Space Science High School Interns Science Symposium for the rising junior students. SEAS is a collaboration between NASA, the University of Texas Center for Space Research. Former SEAS interns have gone on to major in STEM in college, interned at NASA centers and space contractors, and been hired by NASA working on missions such as Cassini and Europa, and even conducting QA for launches at Kennedy Space Center. In 2024, we received over 3,000 applications. 1,861 of those were completed, and we selected 108 rising seniors and 50 rising juniors. We also had 125 virtual students as participants who were assigned to 27 different Earth and space science projects. Research was conducted in Earth and space science, environmental studies, climate research, mission design, and technology. To say these students are amazing is an understatement. Each student conducted 40 hours of research in Earth and space science modules, Python coding, and project-specific work prior to starting their individual projects through teams. Interns heard from 10 NASA subject matter experts that highlighted NASA missions, opportunities, and careers during the course of this internship as part of the SEAS Speaker Series, as well as from astronaut Dan Tanney, who shared his spaceflight experiences. You are in for a treat as you hear from these amazing young people, our scientists and engineers of the future. On behalf of the UT Center for Space Research education team, Selena Miller, Laura Tomlin, Angelica Krasinga, and myself, Margaret Baggio, the managers of the program, welcome to NASA SEAS 2024. Today, we will have 7 team project video presentations. Presentations will be 20 minutes in length, followed by 5-minute Q&A. Please post your questions on the slido.com app or website and use the code SEAS 2024. Here's our schedule for the day. We remind you to download the Slido app to access through to be able to post your questions to the teams, and they will be able to answer at the end of their video. Our first presentation will be from the Human Health and Microgravity team. The mentor for the team is Becky Fritchie. Ms. Fritchie is a STEM educator from Prairieville, Louisiana. In her 14-year career, she has completed numerous trainings, conferences, and workshops focused on the integration of STEM education along with Earth and space sciences. This is Ms. Fritchie's 3rd year as a project assistant for the SEAS program. Please join me in welcoming the Human Health and Microgravity team.
Hi, I'm Nathan Scaff, and I'm from Lexington, Kentucky.
Hello, I'm Jeremy Liu, and I'm from Carlsbad, California.
Hi, I'm Maya Gohoff. I'm from the Cincinnati area in northern Kentucky.
Hi, I'm Johanna Donegan-Wers, and I'm from Chittenango, New York.
Hi, I'm Bryn Edwards, and I'm from Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Hi, my name is Natalie Long, and I'm from Richmond, Virginia.
Hello, my name is Nathan Heath, and I'm from Malvern, Arkansas.
Hello, my name is George Taylor, and I'm from Charlotte, North Carolina. Our mentorship consists of Zoe Zlatic, Becky Fritchie, Laura Tomlin, Dr. George Pantelos, and Ms. Phyllis Friola. They help by giving us advice and guidance throughout this entire project.
After designing the mission patch, I'll explain its symbolism. The octagon displays 8 sides to demonstrate the 8 members. Earth demonstrates how this topic will relate back to life on Earth and hopefully improve people's lives. The blood cells in orbit demonstrate how the research focuses on the characteristics of RBCs in microgravity. The NASA worm font, displayed on all the text, represents our ties back to NASA. The star pattern on the background is from the NASA Meatball logo and also shows our connection to this organization. Lastly, the light blue ring also demonstrates our connection to Earth as it displays the colors of our ocean while complementing the patch and making it look more balanced.
This investigation will examine current anemia treatments, analyze their applicability for space hemolysis, and discuss how these treatments can be adapted to better suit spaceflight. Even though this is a new topic of research, there's a multitude of reasons for the cause of space hemolysis, including fluid shifts and more. We started looking into anemia treatments to treat space hemolysis because anemia and space hemolysis are so close, the treatments could potentially be interchangeable. So within our research, we will look into ways that anemia is cured and see if it's applicable to space hemolysis. The goal of this research is to find out how to further prevent health complications with blood throughout long space journeys. Our goal is to be able to see if anemia treatments are applicable to space hemolysis induced in microgravity. When exposed to a period in microgravity, it has been found that astronauts will experience a phenomenon called space hemolysis. During this process of hemolysis, astronauts will experience up to 45% of an increase in the destruction and the rupture of red blood cells or RBCs. The effect of hemolysis continues even after astronauts come back to the Earth setting. We're currently trying to solve this issue because any sort of anemia or anemia-like abnormality will not allow our body to get the sufficient amount of oxygen we need. It can start to damage our vital organs that are reliant on blood, like the heart and brain. Also, the body's tissues will also be starved of oxygen as well. This leads to hypoxia, which shuts down the necessary bodily functions.
Carries oxygen from the lungs to the rest of the body and returns carbon dioxide to the lungs, or to the tissues back to the lungs. This is an essential function for transporting oxygen to the cells and allowing for cell respiration. Then there's hematocrit, which is the volume of blood that is occupied by healthy RBCs. When there's hematocrit degradation, it means the blood's oxygen carrying capacity has been reduced. Reducing plasma volume refers to the liquid component of the blood that contributes to 55% of the blood's total volume. When this is reduced, it jeopardizes the circulatory system. Lastly, reducing erythrocyte mass indicates a decrease in the total number of red blood cells. Overall, these bodily responses to microgravity impair the oxygen carrying capacity of the blood. Moving into how space anemia affects the body. For one, there is limited oxygen transportation. This is the main source for the other symptoms, those being fatigue or lack of energy, dizziness, potentially headaches, decreased strength and feeling weaker, abnormal heart functions, which can be heart palpitations, disrupted cognitive ability, so the processes of thinking, observing, and solving are more difficult, shortness of breath, and many more. So what do all these physiological responses lead to? Astronauts' anemia. This is also synonymously referred to as space anemia and microgravity-induced anemia. When hemolysis exceeds a rate of 54%, we know there's a significant imbalance. Reasons for astronauts experiencing this adaptation include factors like radiation exposure, fluid distribution, and microgravity, which our main focus for the project will be on microgravity. Radiation exposure is emission of energy as electromagnetic waves, and it damages RBCs. On the other hand, fluid distribution is the movement and redistribution of bodily fluids due to the absence of gravity, which alters blood volume. Another factor is extended missions with prolonged periods of time in microgravity, which continues to add to this problem's severity.
Measuring and monitoring space hemolysis. In order to properly examine the effects of anemia treatments in astronauts, there needs to be a way to test for anemia. Right now, the most common way to test for anemia is using blood draws. However, for spaceflight, there's an increased risk of complications with this technique, and it requires a large amount of materials to be carried on missions, such as sterilized needles, needle disposal, syringe, blood storage, and testing equipment. An alternative method to this is using a deep learning AI. A study was conducted with this where it analyzed retinal fundus images from the UK Biobank, composed over 114,205 fundus images. It found that this deep learning model was able to detect anemia and quantify blood hemoglobin levels with a 95% confidence rate. Fundus photography is something that's already aboard many space missions, including the ISS, and it can be done a lot more frequently than blood draws.
Possible causes for hemolysis. Microgravity is the most likely option given for these rates of increase are unique to spaceflight. Next, fluid shift is possible due to the body purging off 10% of its fluid volume while under the effects of microgravity. Next, other theories being discussed include radiation, isolation, and confinement. Space hemolysis is a catastrophe. Space hemolysis proves itself to be a major difficulty for astronauts due to its similar effects on the body to anemia. While currently unsolved, looking to treatments for anemia could aid in helping cure space anemia. Space hemolysis does not only affect astronauts while under the influence of microgravity, but effects can extend for around a year after astronauts return to Earth, depending on how long they spent under the effects of microgravity. Severe effects include heart failure, loss in control of red blood cell count, which can lead to unwanted structural changes in organ structure, and a loss of consciousness.
Current solutions have been discovered by space organizations to combat hemolysis, which is when the body destroys red blood cells for the duration someone is in space. For example, astronauts who exercise the upper body will face changes in their fluid dynamics. Not only do astronauts need an improved fitness plan to compensate for microgravity, they will need to enhance their nutrition and vitamin intake. It will also help to understand how the bloodstream works in microgravity. Additionally, pharmaceutical treatments are being tested to see if they can undergo the conditions in space to accommodate the astronauts' health for their neurological and blood systems. Although these results for these treatments aren't guaranteed, scientists at NASA and beyond have numerous studies supporting this research.
Alright, so this image below is one of the two ZQubes developed by Bob Twiggs. This version is a 10 by 10 by 20 centimeter rectangle, equipped with a 3D printed exterior shell, a data logger module, a mini testing container, and a mini camera. The cube also has multiple other sensors that they can measure, as it's equipped with gyroscopes and accelerometers, and much more. Another interesting additional fact is that the ZQube was actually inspired by a Beanie Baby box, which Mr. Twiggs found when shopping. In our